Welcome back to the David Kurten Show on today's News Talk TNT. And it is fantastic to have with me at the moment Debi Evans, who is the UK column nursing correspondent and a former advisor to the Department of Health in the UK. Welcome to the show, Debi.
David, thank you so much for inviting me, and it's lovely to be here.
Really good to have you on the show. You've been keeping an eye on what's been going on in healthcare for a long time, and obviously we've had the craziness of the last 4 years. And the health has been a huge issue with lockdowns and the health issues that's caused, the injections and what that's caused. But we were told to lock down, get injections to save the NHS, as though this is somewhat of a sacred cow in the UK. But the NHS is not working, and we just have the story today that there's apparently 250 people a week are dying in excess of normal in accident and emergency departments. Do you know anything about that and what the cause of that is?
I certainly do, David, and it's absolutely shocking. And as a retired nurse, this would never ever have happened on my watch. And we're not just looking at people dying in accident and emergency for many years since lockup. I call it lockup, not lockdown. But we're looking at people dying in ambulances as well. I mean, some hospitals have had 30 plus ambulances queuing outside. We're looking at multiple reasons that people are being left in A&E on trolleys. People in their 80s, in their 90s, people that are seriously ill are being left in A&E. And a lot of them now, and in fact, I was speaking to a paramedic not too long ago, and who speaks to me privately. And he said to me that they now call A&E corridor wards. So
Wow.
corridors have been made into wards, and the people that look after these corridor wards are the paramedics themselves. So whichever ambulance has arrived first, the crew split. One drives the ambulance back to the station, gets another member of crew, whilst the first member of crew stays in the department and literally takes charge of a corridor ward. I mean, it's shocking. At the moment, we've got 13,000 people in hospital waiting to go home. That's 12% of the bed base. We don't have enough staff in our hospitals because we've had an exodus of staff either that have left through sickness or because they didn't want to follow government mandates on the injections. And yet we're replacing them with untrained staff and lesser qualified staff. So in your hospitals now, we've got to the point now where Dr. Adrian Boyle, who's the president of the Royal Emergency Medicine Organisation, has said that people go into hospital and come out sicker than when they went in. And now it's gotten to the point where people are too scared to go to the NHS because what we're seeing, and I think my most important message, especially for our international friends watching from other countries, is that the NHS in the UK, we no longer have an equitable, fair, safe, accessible health service anymore. We have an NHS that isn't injured or ill, it's dead. It doesn't work, it's broken. And my friend and colleague, Vanessa Beeley in Syria, she gets better healthcare and quicker healthcare in Syria than any of us do in the UK. And that's a fact.
Wow. And Syria is a country that is war-torn, and you would
Yeah.
think that things don't work there. I mean, that is an absolute indictment of the NHS here in the UK. If you get better healthcare in Syria than you do in England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland.